Hello. Today I'm going to go over JSServices integration with trading technologies and some ADL trading templates. The desktop includes a data utility and its preferences, specifically the integration script number 2, which produces an Excel spreadsheet, which is here. And we can use this to link to trading technologies, so we can take a chart, simple as highlighting these cells, and then we can paste these links onto a chart, and the price map levels can be displayed on a chart. We can also do that linking with ADL. You'll receive a Algo. You'll need to save that in your TT, DAT files, local Algos directory. Then open up the dashboard, and we can hit deploy. You want to check the persist box. That way the Algo, all the changes that you made to the Algo will be saved, and we can hit deploy. Algo will come up here. This is an OTA. It's called an OrderTicketAlgo. It's a one-sided Algo. So what happens is you place a manual market order or a limit order, and once that order is filled, the Algo will take over and position manage it. We'll get into those details now. First, we're going to set up the Algo. So to set up the Algo, we don't need to enter buy or sell quantity or price here. We do need to enter our contract. I'm going to do an S&P strategy. So find the S&P. Doing the September contract, and we're going to load that in there. Now what we can do is link our variables. So we can come over here to our Excel spreadsheet, which has been formatted to work with TT, and we can cut and paste our metrics in. This is the maximum stop distance, the alert distance, and the variance, and these are all based on ticks. So it's unified for each market on the ticks. And then we start with the UT2, which is here. And we're going to enter all the price map levels down to the DT2. And so you just highlight the cell, right click, copy, and paste link. This is the value area on the price map. So if you're executing this Algo outside this UT2, DT2 zone, it's not going to work. It's going to try to make you trade within this value area. The Algo has been set to trade from 1 to 3 units, and so what this means is when you enter your order, it will split up the order into 1 to 3 units. So if you put in a 10 lot with 2 units, it'll split your stop and your exit targets into 5 lots each. We also have what we call a discretionary add, and so if this box is checked, what will happen is the Algo will decide where the best place to place an additional unit, and you can decide the size of that unit on the discretionary add quantity. So if you're coming into an area, you want to buy it, this discretionary add may not buy it right away. It may buy it lower, or sometimes it actually may buy it higher after there's a price qualification. And so by checking this box, the Algo is going to place that order for you. You'll initiate your initial trades based on these units, and then you'll add a discretionary unit based on the Algo. Next section is the trend or non-trend. So if the box is checked, it's going to be an Algo that's going to look for more of an extended trend targets. And if you uncheck it, it's going to be more of a neutral trading environment where it's going to look to have a more aggressive position management, more aggressive stop placement, and more aggressive exit targets. First in, first out weighting has to do with your size split between the units. So if you're going to have a FIFO weighting, it's going to take your size and put it on your front end stops and your front end targets, and if you uncheck it, it's going to be last, so your size is going to be on your stops that are farther away, and it's going to go for more profit. Maximum level offset has to do with the number of ticks that your stops are randomized. So if you're running multiple units, this will randomize your stops. Also, if you run the algo one after the next and you're running on two different instances, this is the stop offset that the stops will be randomized by, and this is based on ticks. These are all the user-defined customizable variables that we have here. You can also add a trail stop. So if you check this box, it'll use a trail stop, and what this does, it activates your profit based on ticks and based off a 1 lot. So even if you're trading a 10 lot, 100 lot, it's going to, the tick amount here is going to be the amount that you want to do for each unit, each 1 lot contract. And so this setting here is at 40 ticks profit, and then we're going to lock in 20 ticks after 40 ticks profit has been achieved. You can just have the one setting, and it won't move. Once it attains 40 ticks profit, it'll immediately exit the market if your profit drops below 20 ticks. You can also trail that profit trail, and this is a delta profit ticks, which is every 10 ticks of profit, we're going to adjust our profit trail up 15 ticks. And again, these are all customizable. The algo also has an end hour and an end minute, and so it's a 24-hour clock. So if I want this algo for the S&P to end at 2:58, I'll enter 1458. After we have all of our levels linked and we've tweaked out our variables, we want to save it. Save template as. Naming scheme I like to use is the contract, the month. It's an OTA. And this is a trend setting. So what I'll do is I'll save one as a trend setting, and then I'll come back and I'll change this variable to neutral. I may or may not change other variables, and then I'll come in and save the template again, but save it as neutral. So I know that I want to run this algo when I'm looking to take quicker profits, and I'm going to run my trend algo when I'm looking for more of an extended move. So let's fire this thing up. We can also link the MD Trader ladder to our spreadsheet. You have to make sure that you're under your properties, under your display, that you're showing your bid-ask indicators. You have to have this box checked. And then that will create these columns. And then you can do the same thing where you just copy and then you paste into each column. So it's a little more tedious. You have to copy one cell at a time. But once it's set up, you can save it and you're done. So as a practical application, come to the S&P, market's in neutral digestion, structurally we're balanced, market is all wound up, ready for a move. We're sitting here at the very top of the neutral zone. Are we going to break out into a bull trend, or are we going to fall back into this neutral or potentially transition to the opposite side of this neutral zone? Our strategies for today are to either fade momentum at the extremes, or a breakout will happen typically from sentiment and we'll make a move. And we take a look at the action, and we had a bounce earlier. The market held our directional area and is starting to break out of the range. So we're in this hedge strategy theme, and the market is selling off. and we are currently here in a downside pivot breakout situation. So we want to sell the market. I'm going to look to sell the market. We had a failure here below our, just at the bottom of our metric here. Maybe not quite giving us a confirmation. Maybe we want to sell it higher, but we're going to use our algos to get into this trade. So you click on this button and you will see our algos are here. So here's our neutral algo, here's our trend algo. So we're going to run the trend, and you can see all of our variables are coming up here. If we wanted to change those, we could dynamically do that. Right now our discretionary ad is at a 2 lot, so we'll keep that there, and we're using 3 units. So we're going to enter in a 6 lot here, and we're going to enter the order. We're going to sell the market with a 6 lot. And our order's placed. Now if I wanted to move this order down, I can, and it won't affect the algo. So I'm going to move it down here so we get filled. So now we're filled, and I have that discretionary ad that I'm working. And so what happened is the algo said, okay, well, we sold it here, and discretionary, we're going to add 2 more at this price here, which is at the top of the DP alert distance. And I have this order here at even. I'm going to move that up just a tick, and so the algo is still going to maintain control. And so if the market does rally up to 69.5, I'm going to sell it here, and I've got a stop here at a quarter, one at 75, and I've got this one at 73. I'm going to move it above this metric here, so I can just come down here, right click and drag it. Sometimes if you want to, you can hit the middle of your mouse and it'll pull up that order, and if you did, that's another way to change it, where you can come in here and you can highlight the value, and the change button will come up, and you can use your scroll on your mouse to change the order, and then just hit change and it'll modify the order. So now I've just lowered it down to the top of the variance. You can see also we have our buy orders are coming in here at the top of the CRX Plus. So we have a 3-unit trade. We have another unit is taking off at the DT1. Downside target 1, the 2158.75 area. And if we shrink this down further, we can see that we have kind of our home run trade coming in here, and this is down at the DT2 down near the 49.75 area. Just as on the stop adjustments, I can adjust my limits. So if I see that, say, the order book building up and I want to modify this order, I can come and I can drag that order. And that's what you'll see. You'll see, you may want to make those modifications. And this modification, we're looking for the market to break much further. So I really don't want to do that, but I could. And you may see those situations happen where maybe you've got some resting paper here, and what you'd prefer to do is, instead of working off the metric, I'm going to work this off that, adjust this off this paper, and I'm going to move my order above it. So the profit management will still maintain control. So now if we get 40 ticks of profit, it's going to lock in that 20 ticks, because that's what we have identified in the algo. If we stop the algo, the position will stay on, and you can manually trade out of it. You can modify your position sizing. You can adjust your profit trails to be more or less aggressive. You can create multiple trend type algos with different unit sizes. You can use the discretionary add as a bigger lever and add bigger size to the discretionary position. You know, it's all completely flexible to what you want to do. Having the built-in trail stop is nice because you don't have to keep your eye on it so closely. Also, another nice feature is the end hour. You know that this algo is going to exit at the end of the trading day, and you don't need to keep your eye on that as well. So for more information, please contact me at info@JSServices.com.